Good afternoon, Dunkirk and Fredonia listeners, and welcome back to News at Noon. News at Noon is brought to you by Fredonia Radio Systems on WCVF 88.9 and WDVL 89.5. I'm News Director Lee Pye here today with my news assistants Sara Lodespoto, Joshua Ribakove, as well as Hunter Halterman and Parker Gurnett. With this top of the hour update, we'll bring you the latest on SUNY Fredonia's campus news and events, sports, weather, and music, as well as national and international news. First up, let's go to the event bulletin for this week. Dr. Amy Schiller's talk, Gradually Then Suddenly, How Techno-Optimism Took Over Philanthropy, is being presented. This talk is focused on the rise of financialized language like return on investment and the acceleration of philanthropy focused on artificial intelligence, space travel, and humanity's long-term future. This event is right now from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. in the Williams Center S204 ABCD. The TV station on campus, WNYF, has a show hosted by Brock Papke called A Sit Down with Brock. He has bi-weekly guests that are never planned, and it is a late informal late-night talk show. This show is streamed every other Thursday at 10 p.m. on the YouTube channel, which is WNYF Television. That's it for the information through the grapevines. Next up, we'll bring it to Hunter for our latest campus news updates.
Thank you very much, Lee. Taking on this week is registration week, and just a quick reminder that for sophomores, today is the start of your registration. Make sure to sign up for your top classes while the seats are still available. The same goes for freshmen on Thursday, and then on Friday, it is the last day to withdraw from your current classes. Today, the Hail Fredonia Records music industry students are hosting a thrift sale. The sale goes from 3 to 6 p.m. in the Williams Center multipurpose room, and I advise you to get there before the good stuff is all gone. The event is in support of their concert later on this semester, featuring BP and the Oil Spills, Oscars Cash, Prairie Pavement, and We Are 3. Come join Mr. Critties and Woodhead, Sons of Waterdale, and Masters of Mayhem for an amazing live performance. They are a playful duo that will show you a fun time. They perform at the Marvel Theater this Saturday with 2 different showings. The first one starts at 2 p.m. and another one at 7 p.m. Tickets will be $16 for adults and $12 for children. Make sure you check out their video online so you know what mayhem you're getting into. That's it for campus news today. I will send it right on back to Lee.
Thanks, Hunter. Next up, we have local news. On Monday afternoon, a collision occurred in Dunkirk on Bennett Road. The accident left one individual hospitalized, but there is no other information at this time. Clymer Central School welcomed a new, quote, student. Margot, an English Springer Spaniel, has recently become a certified therapy dog for the school. Nicole Damcott, the school social worker, is her certified handler. She said, quote, I have gone into another school and I decided, so I am a social worker at the school and it's a different title and a little tricky. I'm here to help kids with all of their needs and help teachers and help parents. And she had a dog, and I thought, that's so cool, I want a dog at the school. Margot had to go through a series of tests to be trained to be a therapy dog and passed with flying colors at the beginning of fall. She is currently learning that if she has the therapy dog vest on, she is working, and if she is not wearing the vest, she can rest. For Margot, she is an emotional support for the students and staff and loves to be loved. That's it for your local news update. Let's kick it to some sports with Parker.
In Blue Devils sports, the women's volleyball team is back in action tonight as they travel to Hilbert at 7 p.m. The team will also travel to RIT on Friday for a 5 p.m. tilt. Their record currently sits at 4-18. The men's hockey season is set to continue Friday night as well as they head to SUNYAC rival Oswego. Puck drop there is slated for 7 p.m. and their record currently sits at 0-2. The women's basketball team hosted Niagara County Community College last night for a preseason scrimmage. They played 4 typical quarters as well as a quarter of a running clock. They will look to kick off their season on Saturday, November 11th, at home versus Hilbert with a start time of 1 p.m. The men's basketball team was also in attendance last night, cheering on the women's team during their scrimmage. They will look to tip off their season next Wednesday, November 8th, at home versus Allegheny. Tip-off for that game will be at 7 p.m. In other sports news, the Major League Baseball playoffs continued Monday evening in the World Series as the Texas Rangers defeated the Arizona Diamondbacks by a score of 3-1, taking a 2-1 series lead. They followed that win up on Tuesday night by a dominating win against Arizona by a score of 11-7, taking an astounding 3-1 series lead. Game 5 of the World Series is set for tonight at 8:03 p.m., and the Rangers will look to remain undefeated on the road this postseason and capture the World Series title. In soccer, star Lionel Messi has won the Ballon d'Or for a record 8th time, fighting off competition from star Manchester City striker Erling Haaland. He becomes the first player to win it by playing in the Major League Soccer of the United States. In Sabres news, the Sabres have had the last few days off as they prepare for tonight's matchup in Philadelphia against the Flyers. Puck drop is slated for 7 p.m. In other Sabres news, rookie sensation Zach Benson is expected to land on IR after re-aggravating a lower body injury. Brandon Byro has been recalled from the American Hockey League affiliate Rochester in his place. As well as Sabres backup goalie Eric Comrie has also been placed on IR after his brilliant start to the season. Devin Cooley was recalled in his place, although it is expected that Devin Levi will be returning in the coming days. The Buffalo Bills will be on the road this weekend, heading over to Cincinnati, Ohio to take on AFC rival, the Cincinnati Bengals. Kickoff between the Bills and Bengals is set for primetime on Sunday night at 8:20 p.m. In other news, the NFL trade deadline was yesterday, and the Bills made a trade with the Green Bay Packers for defensive back Rasul Douglas. The Bills sent the Packers a third-round pick in exchange for Douglas and a fifth-round pick. The 28-year-old corner will look to take over cornerback one role after the Bills lost Tre'Davious White a few weeks ago due to a season-ending torn Achilles. The Bills also signed free agent running back Leonard Fournette to the team's practice squad, and the 28-year-old running back will look to add some depth to the Bills at this position. And that's it for your sports update. Let's send it to Sara for the weather.
Now, here is your Northern Chautauqua weather update brought to you by Fredonia Radio Systems.
Hey, y'all, now that Halloween's over, my roommate already wants to put Christmas decorations up. With this snowy forecast for today and tomorrow, I'm not going to stop her. Today is a chilly 44 degrees with some clouds and rain. With harsh winds, maybe consider staying indoors. Tonight, the weather is feeling a little indecisive because it will fluctuate between rain and snow as it drops into the upper 30s. Tomorrow, we'll be waking up to some snow falling. However, as the day continues and the temperatures rise to 49 degrees, we are left with just clouds and high wind speeds. My kettle for tea will be my life support because I despise the cold. Later into the night, the skies clear up and it chills into the low 40s. That's it for your 2-day weather. Keep listening and I'll be back with the rest of your weekend forecast. For now, let's take it to Lee for our local music update.
We are
Johnny and the Man Kids.
We're Johnny and the Man Kids.
The local lowdown is presenting the Beach Fest at Main Street Studios. There will be vendors to sell their products such as Fredonia Radio records and CDs, Oopsie's art by Sara, and more. Dressing up like you're on the beach is highly suggested. The music is the music that all the Beach Boys will be jamming out to is the Burkharts, Johnny and the Man Kids, which is what you're listening to right now, Beach Towers, Star Juice, and Fruit Fly. The local lowdown event is on November 11th at Main Street Studios at 50 West Main Street, Fredonia. Doors are at 7 p.m. and music is at 7:30 p.m. That's all I have for music news this week. Let's bring it to Josh for your national and international news.
The United States finally has a new House Speaker. Representative Mike Johnson was unanimously elected by House Republicans last Wednesday. Hailing from Louisiana, Johnson is a lower-ranked leader of the House GOP team. Upon his election, Johnson stated, quote, "The People's House is back in business," end quote. However, the House continues to remain divided despite its Republican majority rule. Throughout the initial votes, far-right conservatives did not wish to accept a more traditional speaker, and moderate conservatives did not want to accept somebody involved in Trump's legal effort to overturn the 2020 election. For better or for worse, the deeply religious 51-year-old lawmaker has the support of Donald Trump as he takes up the chair of House Speaker, marking the end of weeks of political discourse and chaos in the House of Representatives. Yesterday, a 21-year-old college student from Cornell University in New York was arrested on a federal criminal complaint charging him with posting threats to kill or injure another using interstate communications. Patrick Dye, a junior at Cornell, currently remains in custody and is expected to appear in court today in Syracuse, New York. Allegedly, he posted threats claiming that he was, quote, gonna shoot up, end quote, 104 West, a dining hall that caters to the kosher diets of Jewish students, located next to the Cornell Jewish Center. According to a statement released by the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Northern District of New York, quote, the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force, which includes the New York State Police, is investigating this case along with the Cornell University Police Department and the Ithaca Police Department, end quote. The press release details some of the disturbing things Patrick Pye posted about, including his alleged threats to brutally murder Jewish students and his threat to bring an assault rifle to campus. It appears a new disease has made its way to the United States. Cutaneous leishmaniasis is a parasite commonly found in the Mediterranean basin, the Middle East, and Asia. However, it appears to have recently made its home in the United States, with the first infection having been reported in Texas in 2014. Now, the parasitic disease has found itself throughout the southern U.S., spread through the bite of phlebotomine sandflies. The sandflies are about the quarter of the size of mosquitoes, and they pick up leishmaniasis from rats, spreading it to humans through their bite. The parasite causes a skin infection, which, according to Peter Melby, infectious disease physician and director of the Center for Tropical Diseases at the University of Texas Medical Branch, the infection may start out simply looking like a pimple. He says, quote, over time, weeks and months, it can grow into a chronic ulcer-type lesion. It's not life-threatening, but it can be disfiguring, especially if it's on the face, end quote. The CDC has not yet published the results of its research, but have found that the parasites are genetically distinct from those found on the other side of the world. It is believed that climate change may be responsible for bringing the tropical disease to this neck of the woods. That does it for today's national news. Let's bring it back to Sara for the rest of your weather forecast.
I know, everyone's wondering, is it going to snow during the weekend? Will it stay this cold? Well, I hope you guys are feeling a little relieved after this. Starting off with Friday, the wind will blow you away with a high of 58. The clouds overshadow the day, but hey, no snow, so I'll take it. Wearing my cozy pajamas that night because it'll start to shower with a low of 46 degrees. Saturday is looking gloomy with the high cloud cover in the mid-50s. A great day to either do homework or take a relaxing break. I should probably be productive, but I'll take the second option. Clouds stay for the evening while it drops into the mid-40s. I'm feeling positive about Sunday since it'll be 57 degrees with the mixture of sun and clouds. It's going to be nice and be even better because the daylight savings will give an extra hour of sleep. The longer nighttime will provide extra clouds and 49 degrees. See, don't worry about the snowfall. We still got some time before then. That's it for your weekend forecast. Let's take it right back to Lee.
That'll wrap up for today's edition of News at Noon. Campus News is written by Maisie Strader and read by Hunter Halterman. Local news for this broadcast is prepared by Lee Pye. Weather is presented by Sara Lodespoto. Sports is presented by Parker Gurnett. Music is prepared by Lee Pye. National news is prepared by Joshua Ribakove. And finally, board operations for this broadcast are performed by Hunter Halterman. Thanks for tuning in to News at Noon. Join us every Monday and Wednesday at 12 p.m. on WCVF 88.9 and WDVL 89.5. From all of us at Fredonia Radio Systems, have a beautiful day.